Hello, today I'll be going over my BackSlash build. I've been building this for about a month now. It's not completely done, but I just kind of want to share where it's at right now and what I've done to it, what I'll have on it, and how much money I've put into it so far. Just so if you plan on building one of these, you can see kind of how I've done it in my approach, and then kind of how much it would cost. I could have done this a lot cheaper than I did, but stuff happens. And I wanted just a quality build, which you're gonna see it's probably not not the greatest quality, but it still has quite a ways to go. It's pretty much just a driver right now. I don't have a body for it yet, but I'll kind of show what I have so far. And first, I think we'll start off with electronics here. I'm running a Castle Sidewinder 4 motor and ESC in it. The motor originally came out of my two-wheel drive Slash. I switched that over to brush so that I could race it at a local track where they only run brushed cars. And the motor seems to be doing really great in this car. I've only really ran this car once. And the only thing I would recommend if you're going to use this motor in ESC is you get a fan for the motor, which I have to do yet. But just running, I don't know, on and off for maybe a half an hour, the motor was extremely hot. So I would get that sorted out quickly. The motor is meant for a two-wheel drive car, so that's probably the case. However, I've seen other people run these in four-wheel drive cars, and that's pretty much what they told me, is that you needed to run a fan on it because it's going to get hot. And now I believe them. Next, I don't have the case off this receiver box here, but the receiver I'm running is Spectrum. I want to say it's an SL1, but I'd have to look. And the reason I chose Spectrum is because I had a lousy Mini B, and I just loved the receiver. I love Spectrum's remotes. I love having this. I'll pull the remote up here. Throttle control, being able to reverse this stuff if I need to. Having steering radius, throttle trim, steering trim. It just beats Traxxas by a mile. So that was what I went with for my receiver. For steering servo, I just went with like a stock Traxxas. I want to say 2075 high torque servo. It seems to be working pretty well. I bought it used for like 20 bucks. That's really it about that. It's cheaper than buying a new one. If you can get it used, I would recommend doing it. New ones will run you about $50. Let's see, what should I go over next here? For shocks, I used the Traxxas GTR front and rear shocks. They work pretty good. I'm just running the stock shock oil that they came with, which I believe is 35 weight. I'll probably up that eventually to like 40 front, 45 rear. But I'll get to it when I get to it. It seems to be handling pretty good now for the first few runs that I've had it. So I'll probably just leave it at that. The chassis that I'm running this off of is the Slash Ultimate 4x4 low center gravity chassis. This is the same chassis that comes with the Traxxas rally cars, so you could do a conversion from that pretty easily like this. And then since this is a Slash Ultimate, I have the upgraded aluminum parts. I had bought this car as a like roller chassis or a slider to build it specifically for this. A new Slash Ultimate chassis will run you about like 250 bucks. You could probably get it cheaper elsewhere, but that's what I paid for it. What else can I go over? We'll go over the front first before I get to the wing, how I have that mounted. So I'm using a Stampede front bumper, and that mounts on pretty easily there. I don't have a bottom screw. I'm missing that one yet, so I'll have to get that fixed. And then I'm running the Stampede shock guards, and I do have those for the rear as well, but I didn't put them on yet due to some conflicts with they kind of get stuck up there, so it doesn't, the shocks don't go all the way down, and it rubs really bad, so I just didn't put them on. This is the bracket for the original front bumper that goes on here, When you get a Stampede front bumper, if that's your choice of what you want to put on this, it's kind of up to you whether you want to mount the rest of that bumper up there. I didn't, just because I like the look of this a lot better with these shock guards as well, but it's really your choice. This chassis also came with sway bars front and rear, so I have those on there. And I'll show you once we get to the back how I keep those mounted on, because once you remove the rear bumper, there's really nothing holding them on. I'm running a Rustler rear bumper. This pretty much just holds the A-arms together. Its only purpose, you could barely call that a bumper. And then the way I keep the sway bars on here is in the packaging. There's like a little piece that would fit into here, and then I just cut that up and slid that back in, screwed it on. That way the sway bars have something to be held on by. And then for the wing here, I've only seen one other person do this online, and I believe that YouTube post was made 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I don't really know how big the sledge wing is on these BackSlash builds, but that is the wing of choice for me. I went with the sledge wing and wing mount. So I'll show you here how that mounts on. I have it zip tied on top to the little bracket that's right there, and then I have that zip tied to the bulkhead or whatever you would call that. And then the bottom 2 screws for the wing just screw right in. I also took some washers, as you can see in there. You could probably get away with 1, but I put 2, just because if you screw it in without those washers, the wing wants to rock back and forth. And that's not very fun. So before I zip tied that on, I went and grabbed some washers from the local hardware store and put those on immediately. And then the zip ties I got are just like 75-pound test zip ties, so this wing is pretty... I've flipped it upside down with no body on it a couple times, and the wing has not broken yet, so we'll see how that holds up. I'll keep you guys updated on that. The tires I'm running are the Proline Badlands, I want to say. I've had these for a couple years now. I just kind of threw these on here because I wasn't running them on a car right now. And I kind of plan on running this around the yard. This one's going to be a yard basher. I know a lot of people... Sorry about that. I pressed a button that I should not have pressed and my video cut off. Anyways, I know a lot of people switch their tires to, is it 17 millimeter or 12 millimeter hexes, just to get, you know, a 1/8 buggy. My build here is pretty much just a slash that's lowered and has a wing on it. And then the body I'm probably going to run is going to be the Lousy 8 3.0, I believe is what people use, or 4.0. Either one of those will probably work. But yeah, that is the build. If there's anything I didn't cover that you guys would have questions about, just leave a comment, and I'll answer it. This is going to be part 1 of a follow-up video, so there's going to be a lot of stuff I fix on this, and I'm going to get a body for it before I record next. I just cleaned up the wires before I filmed this, that those are all tucked away. I still have to find a place to mount this switch though, and I have a bracket for it lying around somewhere. I just don't know where I put it. So yeah. So now I'm going to go over the price of everything I have on this truck. A lot of this stuff I've had like beforehand, but I'll just tell you how much it costs brand new. Because yeah, I've had these tires for a couple years, the motor I've had for a couple years, and so on. So I'll start off with electronic prices. The motor and ESC, I believe on Amazon, is about 120 bucks for the combo. The ESC itself was $60 because I had to order a new ESC for it. The receiver and remote brand new is about $60. The steering servo brand new, as I said before, is about $50. You can find servos for cheaper. I don't really know what's good. I just found this used and it was cheaper. Probably the cheapest servo I could find. And it should work good. I've never had any problems with Traxxas servos. I don't really know if they're good or bad. I've just never had problems with them before, so that's what I usually go with. The Proline Badlands, I want to say, are about $40 a pair, so it's about $80 for a whole set. These shocks, front and back, are about $30 for each pair. 30 to 35, depending on where you can find them. It'll probably run you about 65 bucks. Let's see what else here. The wing and wing mount. The wing is $16. The mount was like $8, I want to say. What else we got here? The front bumper was $8. The shock guards are $8. And then I would recommend getting rear ones as well. I've still got to figure out how I'm going to put those on there and not get them to rub. And I'll definitely add that to the follow-up video. This back bumper is about $8, and that comes with this piece and an actual rear bumper that I did not put on here. If you guys would like to see that, I can kind of show my bag of spare parts and what all these come with. And then the chassis itself, as I said previously, was about $250, and that came as a slider, so it didn't come with any electronics, nothing, no shocks. Sorry, I accidentally stopped recording again. As I was saying, the chassis did come with all the upgraded parts, so it was about $240 to $250 brand new. And that should be it for pricing. I'm not going to add that all up for you guys. If you want to add that up, that is completely up to you. But if I had to take a guess, I would say this is about a $500 to $600 build by the time I'm done with it. So, and yeah, I mean, I used all Traxxas parts. There's, other than the electronics, and, well, I guess the steering servo doesn't count. But other than the electronics, everything on here is made by Traxxas, so the parts should be relatively easy to find. The only thing I ordered on Amazon for this car was the ESC. Everything else was found in local hobby stores, so it should be pretty easy to find. Anyways, that's my build. I'll let you guys go. Have a good one.